Yes. So today the topic that we've kept is about understanding immunity, and not only COVID infections, but overall vulnerability that we feel from other factors as well, emotionally, physically, spiritually, intellectually, financially, in so many ways that we feel vulnerable. Where is this part coming from today? And that, of course, bringing down our immunity and an overall health resistance in our body, and how our thoughts affect our immunity, and then the infection entering in our system so many ways. Because today we also, when we talk about the global crisis, which is corona, there are so many people back in India are affected, or our loved ones, or anywhere else. And we also think that, oh, there's a COVID vaccination, whether to take it or not, or all those thoughts that people have. Now, maybe I want to keep this interactive. I want you all to ask me questions, and then I'll also present my perspective about any sort of infection entering into your system. How does that come? How are you, Sonali?
Fine, Rajeshri.
How the practice going on?
Now I'm taking a break before starting.
Okay, good.
Okay, so actually, when it comes to immunity, I was just wondering, like now when you go out, every other person you see, the mask is like, ear or ear down. So,
Yeah.
and see, I mean, it started in India and it's like airborne, it's become. So anytime it can somehow travel and come here. So how do we, and the only way is we can't keep on telling each person, next to us, okay, you better put up your mask. And if it's in the air, then yes, immunity is the only way. By increasing immunity is the only way we can protect ourselves.
No, so today I'm going to talk specifically in terms of 5 areas where even corona or any overall immunity, when we talk about. So our immunity is first ENT. The easiest that what we catch as a viral or bacterial stuff is into either ear, nose, or throat. So that's about let's say cold, cough, flu. That's one part. Okay. Right? That's ENT. Like people attribute all these parts where they say, oh, I had cold water, I had outside food, oh, this doesn't work for me. The second is, after ENT comes stomach infection. That's the second part that we'll talk about. And anything especially on skin. These are the commonest of all. Have I missed out on anything specific? The common thing that we are talking about? Anything that comes to your mind? Because I know you're making notes as well and you have few thoughts that you're assimilating. Anything that comes to your mind? ENT, stomach infection, skin, what else? Viral, fever and all. You are on mute, so I can't hear you.
Sorry, I keep muting myself. I said
you can unmute and keep it on, no problem. If there's nothing much happening in your background, you can keep it unmute, no problem, so that we can have interactive session, no issues.
Yeah, I think viral infections are very important as well to try and recognize.
So, see, any infection entering your system, basically, whenever your immunity is going down, the first thing is correlate, because normally the immunity directly correlated to your, emotional health. The moment you're feeling emotionally low, there are chances that your immunity and the shield that we say, your auric shield, gets down or depleted. Because your aura, more than I think your 5 senses, your aura speaks louder and interacts with people who are within your environment. Your 7 chakras, when we say. So your chakras interact even before your 5 senses have interacted with the environment. Okay. even with the environment, the first thing, as Sonali also pointed it out, that it's airborne. So your first thing is also breath. Now, what is breath? Breath is represented by life, or life represented by breath. Okay, both, vice versa, if we may say. So if all of us who perceive life to be a struggle, and the airborne stuff entering through your nose and causing you another struggle in terms of breathing. Let's also understand corona, because it is a direct attack which happens on your respiratory organ, which is lungs, and then the oxygen not being adequate. The pure understanding is life being a struggle. Life is difficult is the belief with which people are operating. So if corona enters into 5 areas where I'm saying that, let's say there are 5 symptom areas, whenever, how do you come to know that corona has occurred or happened? Number 1, recurrent headaches, number 1. Okay. Cold, cough, and sneezing, ENT again. Third is breathlessness. And now the new mutant that has come is also attacking your heart. Okay. So let's understand your overall shield with emotional health first will decide how vulnerable you are feeling within the environment. So let's say people earlier were wearing masks. People wore a mask, gloves, there's a face shield, there's, even when you're traveling, there's PPE that you wear. Doctors have to wear it because they are directly coming in contact with the patients. So PPE is justified. Now it's practically impossible that you wear one PPE every day and you go out and you dwell in the physical world around. That also is not possible. So what is it that determines that how will you catch it is your own shield, which is emotional and auric shield first. How somebody can penetrate, because this I have experimented, hence I'm saying it, because once I, had a chance, because I've been an avid adventure enthusiast. So I used to go a lot of times in jungles and live overnight. So there was one particular night where I was, I was camping, and there were a lot of mosquitoes. The more I was worrying about mosquitoes, now mosquitoes and bacteria, of course, cannot be compared, but then mosquitoes were there around and they were biting it. And they were biting almost every possible area in the body. That is how it was, because you living in a jungle is always not safe, as people say. But the moment one of my spiritual teachers were also there with me in that camp. So he says that just do one thing, build a purple bubble around you and feel you're completely protected and shielded, as if you are creating a strong auric bubble which cannot be penetrated by these mosquitoes. And I actually tried it with complete faith and belief into this. And trust me, for next half an hour to 40 minutes, by the time I fell off sleep, there were actually no mosquito bites. No mosquito could actually come and penetrate through that aura or the shield that I created. Now, this is a real story from my life. So understand that wherever we are able to create that shield around us with our vulnerabilities not being around or not being felt or not being there in your psychological space, it will not come into your physiological space as well. So can I request everyone to keep the videos on, because then somehow I'm not very comfortable talking to the wall or talking just to the laptop. So if you are interacting, that will be great. Param. Yes, thank you. So now when I say that when we have this sort of a thing where we have to, no problem, Sonali. So that's one area. So once, let's say the shield that you build around, which is an emotional shield or vulnerabilities. So first thing first, that we need to therapeutically or internally deal with the vulnerability. How vulnerable do we feel? Let's also understand the skin and your contact with the environment. So if you're picking up anything through respiration, I already spoke about, it's the breath, and the breath represents life. The third area is your skin. Let's understand, out of your 5 senses, the 2 are very, very important senses out of. So eyes, the infection doesn't come in through the eyes, so you're safe. The infection doesn't come through the ear, so you're safe. The infection doesn't come through gustatory. Gustatory, maybe it is coming in, but only when you land up eating something. And the viral infection can come in through the mouth, that's yes. But the major infection that's happening is through the nose and the skin, because it's the contact with the environment. And that is what then you land up putting it in your mouth, and then it is entering. So your nose, out of the 5 senses, there are 3 senses which are governed entirely by the cognition, which is eyes, cognition, ear, cognition, and the mouth, cognition. Why am I saying cognition? Because if you don't want to see something, you close your eyes and you can sit for hours together and you will not die. With closed eyes also, you will sustain, you will survive. So that is supported by the conscious mind. You don't want to listen to something or hear something, you can simply shut your ears also, and you will, or you can isolate yourself and not be bothered by the sound or the environment. You don't eat, you will not die immediately. It's about 8 to 10 days, you can still survive, depending upon how healthy you are. But you cannot shut your nose and you cannot shut your skin. Both these senses are completely subconscious. Do we agree? So which means that your subconscious mind, with what is happening within the environment, with the vulnerabilities and picking up infection, again, skin being your largest organ, it picks up even slightest of the movement. And the hair follicle being there on the skin, the slightest of the movement on your skin, even any creepy crawly or even a mosquito bite, even when you are deeply asleep at night, your hand exactly goes there. Which means what? Again, your subcognition is intelligent to spot any movement like that. So your vulnerabilities, by the time the virus enters, is first read by your skin. And then it is picked up by the overall regulator of how your immunity behaves, because research again proves that how your self-esteem perceives your reality around, it's actually the perception. So your self-esteem being low is equal to your immunity also being low, because you feel that much vulnerable by the environment. And then you bothering about life being a struggle, that actually makes breathing become struggle. And a whole lot of people who are requiring all these oxygen cylinders and masks and ventilators and artificial support system is exactly the vulnerability and the breathlessness. Life is a struggle. And they are actually making breathing the struggle, and then they are dying of choking of the heart attack out of a shock. That's how the mutant has come back with the biggest wave in India, that we are listening to all these, deaths being happening. Whereas all the areas where life is in a certain context, people who have a good control over their emotional aspect, or as we also see in the mental health field these days, the number of clients have increased. So all those people, out of the fear or the emotional instability, are coming and they are getting in touch with us that, Rajesh, how do we work around with this? What is happening? I've lost my job. There's relationship breakup that keeps happening. What are the areas where I can fix myself, not feel vulnerable, or even in the areas where, when we say happiness coaching, because I practice something called happiness coaching through other modalities, which is clinical hypnotherapy and all of that. So when we go into the subconscious mind, how the happiness can be coached, that also is a question, because happiness is an inside out process. So the first step is to work with the self-esteem of the person, my deservability, how my parents treated me right from the childhood, the socio-economic, educational, and religious conditioning that we receive in our perception and understanding of what life is and what life is perceived. Because a lot of times when we say, it's not the problem that is problem enough, it's the perception of that problem that keeps you worried. Most of the time, what you're playing in your head that depletes your aura, and that also depletes your strength and connection with the environment, is also your own worry that you keep playing. I'm not safe. I'm not, strong enough. And that problem of not being strong enough is what is building your auric shield or breaking your auric shield, which is where the infection starts happening. And different infection in different part of the body. Let's say stomach infection. Now, stomach infection is purely the anxiety that you keep playing. Anxiety of the unknown, the fear of the unknown. What's going to happen in future? What's going to happen in future? What is going to happen in future? So there's a very important energy center, which is the solar plexus. When it starts depleting, things that start becoming again the gut infection, or when we say food poisoning, you're not eating poison. The difference between poison and non-poison is how much your body can handle, how much your body can digest. Whenever anything that you take in that your body can handle becomes poison. So if you eat potato, for example, and that potato is not cooked properly, and you ate that potato beyond a certain capacity, next day you will have upset stomach and food poisoning because your body could not digest it. There are so many toxic substances in a small quantity. When you take it, your body can handle it. You don't have that severe breakdown. Okay, and poison and venom also, they are two different things. Were you aware of this? That poison and venom are two different things. You can drink venom and not die. If you drink snake venom, and if your gut is completely healthy without any ulcers, you will not die. Because
venom. Shiv hai.
No, but Shiva drank the poison, not the venom. Venom comes from either sting, that is scorpion, or snake through the fangs. It has to come in touch with your blood. So obviously there is hemotoxic venom and there is neurotoxic venom. So either you will die of neurosis or neurological seizure, or there is hematological seizure that breaks the heme and iron, heme and globin. That's the breaking down of the protein, and then your blood becomes jelly thick and it doesn't flow and you die. That's hemotoxic. But if you drink venom, your gut has enzymes that can break down this protein, because venom is nothing else but complex protein. So your body has intelligence to digest that venom. It's only the poison. So poison, the definition of poison is what? Anything that you're taking it beyond any capacity becomes your poison. And that has to go into your mouth. That's ingested. And then it comes. Hi, Anadi. How are you? Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Rajesh.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Are you still in Dubai?
I'm still in Amman, yes.
You didn't come to Dubai. You said that you were going to be here.
I was supposed to come, but my visa only got approved. I got to know about it just one day before the course. So if I would come, I would miss one day, and that wouldn't be, possible.
Okay.
But I'm coming just for a visit, hopefully after Eid.
Oh, wow. Okay, after Eid, that's too far. Then
since I have the visa anyway, I will utilize it.
Not bad. Yes, Sainia. Am I going to see you both in the 9 to 10 meeting as well?
Yes, I will be
there. Okay,
yes,
great.
I will be there. But I think this one I might leave because I need to break my fast in about 10 minutes.
Okay. Please carry on. I'll see you at 9 then. No problem. Yeah. Yes. So sorry, coming back to our topic. Now, so any questions about vulnerabilities and whatever that I've shared, and then I'll go on to do like the 5 senses information that I shared, or in terms of skin and gustatory or olfactory infections entering into your system. Yes, Sonali.
No, I understand that when it comes to immunity, whatever infection attacks us, it would catch our vulnerable link.
Right.
So we have to be extra careful about
how paranoid you are becoming. So even in Corona, people have asymptomatic recovery. Now asymptomatic recovery is those people are not seeing life to be that struggle. So those are the people who are in lungs fine. So it enters, but they just with. So what is the second plot? When your lungs are fine, then the fever goes up. Why the fever is going up? So then they are not operational or vulnerable at the level of breath or the nose. They are vulnerable at the level of solar chakra, fire, which is where the temperature rises up. So my life is out of my control is the belief. So actually the body temperature starts rising up beyond control. Now that is where the fever breaks out. So people also go through that sort of a thing in Corona where the temperature goes up, that I have life that is not in control. I'm trying to control it, and then there is a problem.
No, like how do we in general, what should we follow to keep our immunity higher?
No, so one part definitely is EFT, number one. Number two is an affirmation. Basically, if there are negative thoughts, you say life is easy, life is smooth. For example, I breathe easy through life. Now, these are some of the affirmations that help in Corona. And I've tried this with my Corona clients as well. I'm sorry. I'll write it on chat. So I breathe easy through life. Life is easy, life is smooth. In terms of your life going out of control, so everything in my universe is in divine harmony, or everything in my universe is in divine order. These are the affirmations which you keep saying it. Or in terms of headache, recurrent headache, it's about confusion in decision making. So if all those people who have ENT, which is the ear, nose, throat issue, I express my thoughts being fearless and assertiveness. I express my thoughts being fearless and assertive, not assertiveness. Okay. Or I express with humility and calmness. I am in divine harmony with my environment. So nothing that you pick up from the environment that gives you any such. Whenever, see again, how do you come to know your environment is not in harmony with you? It's through the touch. See, because touch is one sensory idea. And also, let me also tell you one more thing. We thought that our brain is our primary organ to control everything what is happening internally, right? Your brain is not governing your body from inside entirely. Your brain perhaps is a secondary organ. Your primary organ is touch, your skin. So whenever there is a sensory idea that the skin is sending to the brain as an impulse, which is an electromagnetic communication through your neurons going through the brain, then the hypothalamus within the brain flushes down the neurohormones in the body of security versus insecurity. So your immunity also is communicating with your organs. That is why I have introduced BioWell scan with illuminations, which actually is assessing how you are doing in your internal system and how your psychosomatic association through chakras, meridians, and 31 different organ systems is doing. So there's a complete scan of your entire body through your 5 fingers and how the GDV camera picks up how your auric space is doing. And maximum people that I've met recently are having issues in the ENT, urinogenital, head, and heart areas. This is like a common thing that I've seen it. Like I've now already, ever since we started, we've already studied about 20 clients so far. And what I'm doing is I've started doing this thing where I am taking a GDV scan, okay, BioWell, then I'm doing 3 sessions. And then I'm using the GDV scan once again to see how much of a difference before and after is happening. So it's a complete 5-session package that we are offering in order to see the shift. That's what I'm studying. So you have tangible, validated before and after state, and the client also is seeing that what affirmation and what thought is changing something within me as my immunity. Now that's a beautiful way to even assess that how your thoughts and how your body is responding to your thoughts. That's a complete biofeedback understanding. That's what we've started. And that's what I've got it with me ever since, I came here. So yes, Param.
So how many times in a day should we be saying the affirmations? Like,
the more you do, the better it works. Minimum 21 times. Because obviously your brain cycles work on 21 times. So 7 into 3, that's how the reinforcement happens. So every 7 breaths, your brain neurons are, ticking together with what feelings you create within you. So it's not just a linguistic trigger, but if you say it in the cycles of 7 into 3, 21 times for 21 days, it actually builds the old neurons and the nervous system breaking the old pattern with creating a new pattern and looking at stuff.
okay. So if we get some, if we have an issue, we are getting images which we don't want to see. How can we use affirmations in that case? Some weird images coming which doesn't belong to us, so we don't want to see. There is some affirmations which we can do so that we don't get such images.
Right.
Can we?
Nice. So in that case, that is why I'm saying that if your affirmation has to be felt, it has to be visualized, and it has to be repeated auditorily. And if you write it down, for example, if you write it with handwriting, it goes straight into your brain, because then your ego bypasses. Your ego is bypassed in the filter. So it goes into straight your kinesthetic space, which is your feeling space. So whenever you're writing affirmation, nothing like it. That is why writing journals are working, for people.
21 times we have to write.
21 times, yes. That is very important, Sonali.
It has to be 21 days together in a row. That's a better thing to do. If there is a break in between, it's like it breaks the...
Then your count starts from 1 on the next day again. You know that, Param, already.
It's like in self-hypnosis, we do that, no? For 21 days.
Climb the stair again.
Climb the stair again, definitely. Because even if you missed it for 1 day, it has broken. Because, again, your 24-hour cycle, each time. And see, why are we saying it? Let's say tonight you forgot. You slept. Next day, you wrote it twice. Within the awake cycle, you wrote it twice. That doesn't make sense. It has to be one sleep cycle. Once you have to write it. That is how it counts it.
So the best time is to write before going to sleep, huh?
That is the 30-minute span, because that is the time when your conscious mind is handing over the control to the subconscious mind. So that is where you are naturally in a hypnotic trance, which is called the hypnoidal state, as we all know. So that's the magic 30 minutes where you are naturally in a hypnotic trance. So all these affirmations, even if you say it endlessly before going off to sleep, it's going in. It's like how many papers you're putting in. The last paper, last in, first out. So your brain, when it's going off to sleep, or your subconscious mind, when it is going off to, your conscious mind is going off to sleep, handing over all the papers and thoughts of your day's review back to the subconscious mind, is where you pick up all these positive things and affirmations, and you're going off to sleep. So it becomes magnified. That's where you are also. See, unfortunately, what are we doing? We're reviewing our day, Param, on a bad note. How bad the day was, how many difficulties that we faced, how many things we should not have done. So self-criticism, environment conflicts, not being able to forgive something that irritated you. You are reviewing your day on a bad note, and then you're going off to sleep. So that magnifies your vulnerabilities and irritation and stuck feeling or helplessness in the subconscious mind, because that's what you're putting every night in that powerful space. So you got to, and then you got to breathe in that positivity with this affirmation and the effect of it when you go off to sleep, because that much more strengthening will happen in the subconscious mind. That's important.
Okay.
So should it be at the same time, like how self-hypnosis we do? So should we do at the same time also?
So treat it as a sacred thing, because then that becomes discipline also. That becomes like a controlling part. that I am controlling my routine. I am true and committed. So if you put it, see, the more organized you are in putting stuff into your mind, the more respectful your mind will be in putting it out in manifestation. The more random you are, the more randomness will be seen.
Okay, so it's like at the same time we do, and either we choose morning or night.
Or in the afternoon, evening, whenever.
No, it's like the time.
I used to do my affirmation each time. I used to drive like mad for 2,000, 3,000. I never counted. I would do affirmation, just keep endlessly like chant on in my head.
No, I'm talking about self-hypnosis. Either we do in the morning or night, the 30 minutes.
Night is the best time before going off to sleep. Last in, first out. Yes, Anadi, please carry on. Bye.
What is there any other class at 9 p.m., 9 to 10?
No, that's my happiness coaching
okay.
weekly meet that we have Saturday.
Okay.
Because every week we are meeting there and we are discussing the cases and self-work that they do on weekly basis. So today is the self-esteem, self-work part that we'll be doing.
Okay.
So Nia, Hanadi, all of these are my happiness coaching.
Okay. Nia is doing a great job.
Nia is on a super fast track. Nia?
I'm here. I just got to put on my video, but I'm listening.
No, I know you're there. No problem. So any other questions about all of these?
Sir, so like, is it possible that, so like, what if you are okay in one environment, but then when you go to another environment, it, you get sick or whatever? How do you assess if it's the environment or is it you, and what about the environment? How do you even have that self?
It's your association with the environment, Nia. Your vulnerability is in your critical filter, as we know, in your conditioning. So let's say if you are feeling vulnerable more than the other environment, so then definitely that environment has an impact over you. And as I said, the skin picks up that environmental trigger, which is the reactor receptor response that happens through the skin. So you pick up that skin, and that skin is then sending the impulse to the brain for you to fall in a certain emotional trap or in a certain way. Thank you, Preeta. Bye-bye. Yep. So these are the things that we got to work around with. So if it is the environment, then you have to either shield yourself or bubble yourself around and all of that. Or you can simply do a purple bubble meditation, which is what I'm going to make you all do now, in a while from now.
Okay.
Yes. Are we ready for the meditation?
Yes.
So just close your eyes, everyone, with your feet flat on the floor. Remove your specs and close your eyes. Stretch your neck. Breathe out. Feel a nice stretch over your throat as you put your head behind, because throat muscle on both the sides from the neck, stretch it totally like a clockwise and anti-clockwise. But these are the muscles that mostly are tense because of your inability to express and all the burden that you're carrying on your shoulders. That's the cervical area. So as you are stretching your throat and the neck, breathe out all the pain that you just experienced. Synchronize your breath. As you are coming forward, breathe out. As you are going behind, breathe in. Sit still, with now your spine being completely straight and erect, giving a good support to your back. Take 3 deep breaths. Breathe in as much oxygen as possible. Breathe out all the negativity. And imagine a shaft of white light which is coming in from the higher self, the cosmos, the universal intelligence, whatever you may call it. The shaft of white light is coming from above, and there's a red hot energy of the earth coming in from the core of Mother Earth. This is exactly coming in from the earth through both your feet, which are flat on the floor. As you are breathing in and out 6 to 7 times, I want you to breathe in this energy of grounding within you. As you are breathing in like a straw, take in the energies, the red hot energies of earth coming up through both your legs, through your spine, rising up through your sacral, coming up through your solar, meeting at your heart. The heavenly shaft of white light is also coming from your crown, agya, and throat, meeting at the heart. So the cosmic energy meeting at the heart from top, and the earth energy meeting at the heart from bottom. Both your feet, through your tailbone, the coccyx region, rising up. And I want you to now, the white and the red energy convert into a beautiful radiance coming out through your heart and building a shield around you like a bubble of energy. The pink bubble from your heart is coming and shielding a beautiful shield of this pink purple light. And through this pink purple light, you are still connected to the earth. I want you to now, through this connection with the earth, give away all what is not working in. Give it away to Mother Earth, all your vulnerabilities, all your difficult situations, all your thoughts that are beyond your control, all your worries, all that is heavy, give it to Mother Earth. And breathe in the fresh energy from the cosmos for the guidance to receive, to make decisions in your life. So inhale through the crown, exhale through the root. 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 All those people who are coming to your mind and the thought, give all their energies back to them or through the earth. Neutralize all your heaviness, agony, grief, stuck feeling, irritation, imbalance, whatsoever that is overwhelming in your space right now. And this beautiful pink light of self-love and the purple light of shielding that is beautifully coming in through your crown is what I want you to focus upon and magnify, building a beautiful shield. Keeping all your energies shielded and protected and giving everything that is coming from the outside, bounce it back. The purple pink light is building resilience, equanimity, assertiveness, patience, calmness, and harmony within you. I want you to breathe in all these positive things to keep you completely shielded and protected within this pink purple bubble that is now shielding around you. Even if you can't visualize it, I want you to simply think about it, that you are in this beautiful bubble, completely shielded and protected. And how loving this bubble is, inspired by the self-love. Each day, I want you to now bring both your hands to your heart and experience this self-love as if you are experiencing this love totally and completely for yourself. Completely allowing this radiance to emerge from your heart the front heart and come back through the back heart. Receive it through the heart, give it through the back heart. As if this energy of this pink purple bubble is coming in from the front heart and being given through the back heart. As if this entire torch energy is coming in through the heart and building a beautiful shield around you. This is the energy of the bliss and the self-love in complete self-acceptance, where you are your priority. You are in complete harmony with yourself first. Because when you are able to manage your inside well is where you are able to manage your outside well. So experience and store this harmony in every cell of your body, being shielded and protected with this pink purple light in every organ, every muscle, every fiber, every meridian, every tiniest piece of your existence. Feel this harmony now magnifying with every night when you go off to sleep. This is exactly the shield that you reinforce with all the affirmations that resonate with you. Life is beautifully easy and life is very, very smooth. Everything in my universe is in divine harmony. Everything in my universe is in divine order. I breathe through life with ease and grace. I leave with everyone what belongs to them outside this bubble, to each one of them whatever that they belong to. Whenever you feel comfortable, bring both your hands to your heart, integrate this divine harmony, peace to yourself. All this self-love coming in every cell of your body, and that is what is multiplying. Whenever you feel comfortable, rub your palm, put it on your face, come back to life, come back to your physical reality. Whenever you feel comfortable, open your eyes and come back to the room. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Nia, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Sleep with this beautiful shield. See ya. Bye-bye.